everybody. So how are we doing today? We're just a couple weeks away from the no sooner than March 1st ban list. It is now the 18th if you are viewing this, which means we have about 10 more days before we have a potential ban list. Does that mean we're going to get one right away? No, it does not, but it is the season of Banlist Predictions. We tried to put a lot of effort into this. We have discussed over Facebook, in different groups, on YouTube, and just with friends in different group chats about what we think not only will happen, but what would actually be healthy for the game and be good for the game moving forward. As you can see, we have our banned, limited, semi-limited, and unlimited sections like most do. If you've seen our Bandless predictions before, you know we like to do a don't be surprised if, where we pick like 3 things to happen where we really wouldn't be surprised if any of them happen, and we actually have a really good track record of at least one of those 3 coming true. I believe the first time we ever did it was when we said don't be surprised if Galaxy Tomahawk got banned, and lo and behold, Galaxy Tomahawk got banned. Yeah, we have a pretty good track record on that, so that's cool in that regard. And then a new one we added for this one specifically, I don't know if it will stick around or not, but good preventative hit that will not happen. So that's going to be a fun one. We're going to talk about why we think it would be a good preventative hit, and obviously that means that something unhealthy is going to be around in the game and they're not going to do anything about it. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump on into the banned section. I think this one's probably the least surprising out of everybody. VFD, true king of all calamities. It's time for it to go. It is so oppressive. The fact that like Virtual World can make it at will. So many different decks can make it too, but Virtual World can pop it with Chuchi to dodge like Forbidden Droplet, which is one of the best meta counters to it in other decks at the moment. And it's just basically turn skip your opponent and you get to do it twice. It's got some outs to it, yes, but it's just one of those cards that really is so oppressive. I do think it is time, and most of us think that it's time. So True King of all calamities finally gets banned. This may be a little surprising to some, and it may actually be probably one of the more discussed down below, because we'd love for you guys to talk about the ban list prediction, what you think will happen, what you think of our predictions. But this is probably going to be one of the more controversial ones. I know a lot of people are on the fence both ways or the other. Cyber Angel Benton, we're going to limit it. So just calamities for our ban section. Cyber Angel Benton, we're going to go ahead and limit it. I think it'll still check Drytron to a degree. Banning it wouldn't kill the deck neither. Both of these decks are still going to function very, very well. Virtual World we'll talk about more in the good preventative section. Drytron, they're getting their new support soon, so I mean that's going to help. But just in general, especially with Benton at 1, I think it really helps make the deck more fair, because they can't like tribute Benton to summon and then search their monster, search Benton, tribute Benton to summon, search their spell, search Benton, summon Benton from the graveyard, tribute Benton, summon their card, get Benton. Like, by the time they actually get what they really wanted off of Benton, it's their 4th or 5th time abusing it that turn. Like, it's ridiculous how much they can do it. And even with Cyber Angel Natasha, then being able to use her effect 3 times in one turn, or once or twice, and then still being able to use it on a following turn. If you limit Benton, I think it really curbs a lot of the unfairness of the deck, while still making the deck very, very strong and relevant. So other limited cards, we're going to talk about the only other hit that we're actually doing on the entire list. I mean, I guess if you look down below, there's certain cards on the list that, well, we're going to talk about later. But, I mean, we got these 2 categories, so don't forget about those. The only other hit for sure we're going to go with is Cursed Eldland. I'm tired of the we never got real events. I'm tired of the it's not that old. I mean, especially come March, I mean, Eldritch is almost a year old. It came out in April last year. Like, it might not feel like it, but Eldritch has been around for a long, long time, in relative speaking. But, yeah, I think Eldland, these are the big 3 decks. If we're hitting the top 2, you don't always have to hit all 3, but I do think it's going to happen. And looking at what are the best ways to hit it, I figure limiting either Eldland or Sanguine more than likely. Just kind of, I think Eldland would be the slightly better hit. I think it generates a little bit more advantage initially on that right away play, whereas Sanguine is a little bit more into the grind game that it affects it. But I do think that the best hit personally for Eldritch would be the Curse Eldland to 1, which isn't going to really hurt the deck too much, because I mean they play just fine when they don't see it. It's not like they search it out anyway, and they pair up so nicely with so many other engines, whether that's like Dogmatica, Numeron, Dragoon, Invoked, Zodiac. Like, they pair up so well with so much. If Eldan goes to 1, they're still going to be a strong deck, but it's just a small check to them overall. So that's basically it for our hits, guys. We're going to go ahead and bring a bunch of cards back and then tell you some things to not be surprised about, and some good preventative stuff that will not happen and why we think that it should. So looking down here, we're getting the errata, we're getting the ghost rare. Firewall, it's coming back. Like, I would put money on this one if I was a gambling man, and anyone who knows me, I'm a gambling man. Like, Firewall is coming back, and we are going to get the errata for it. I think with the errata, there's no reason Firewall can't come back. Being a hard once per turn was personally enough, I think, in my opinion, but they also made it lock you into Cyburst monsters. Like, it's going to be strong in certain decks, you know, that can abuse it, Cyburst decks, and what have you, but I don't think it's going to be game breaking at all. And like, Firewall's coming back. It's a done deal already. So Firewall coming back. The next card we are going to go ahead and talk about is Astrograph Sorcerer. We've been predicting this one for like 3 lists now. Hasn't come back yet. We predicted a whole bunch for Harpy's Feather Duster. I think Astrograph might be our new longest predicting that hasn't happened yet, since Feather Duster did finally come back. We had Double Iris too when it did. I think I really don't see why Astrograph can't come back to 1. Pendulums aren't doing a whole lot. They keep getting support, and they keep not doing a whole lot. Electromite's still banned, so I personally think Astrograph can come back to 1. One of, or all 3 of the Dragon Rulers that are not back yet can come back to 1. Like, show me any Dragon Ruler or a deck that is going to just go absolutely insane because they come back. Could they be strong? Sure. Can they get abused? Maybe. Are they going to be like game breaking? No, they're not. It doesn't matter if it's Tidal, if it's Blaster, or if it's Redox, or if all 3 of them come back. The Dragon Rulers, they're kind of power crept at this point. Like, they're not saying, like I said, you know, maybe someone will get crazy and do something really good with them. But I don't really see it happening. I think the Dragon Rulers can come back. Discuss that down below if you disagree. The next one, Old Faithful, Thunder Dragon Colossus. So this one is, I definitely think, pretty likely to happen. I guess I shouldn't say pretty likely. It's probably most unlikely out of all of our limited cards to come back. But is it oppressive? Yeah. Is it strong? Yeah. Is it going to get abused? Maybe somewhat, but it's no worse than Calamities, which I know is redundant because we just got rid of Calamities. But I don't know. Part of me just really feels like Thunder Dragon could use it. Are people going to play Nemesis Corridor, or even I think it's Flag that can search out Corridor to get to their Colossus? Yeah, some people will. They're not going to do very good with it, but some people are going to do it. I don't really see too much reason why Thunder Dragon Colossus can't go to 1. It's a really strong card. It's a really good card for an archetype that has done really nothing since it's been banned. And it's, I don't know. I think Thunder Dragon Colossus can come back to 1. Skipped over one of our actual main deck types. Orchest Harp Horror, I think that's another one that's in pretty good line to come back. I don't know if they'll say like the new Scrap Raptor scrap stuff is enough to help Orchest overall if they beef up their scrap package a little more. But like, we got Rusty back, we got all the PK stuff, like almost full power, if you will. Obviously Mermaid being banned is kind of big. That's more or less for the splashable engine as opposed to pure, I guess. But I don't know. Orchest, it doesn't seem to matter. Like, they got Gearsu, that's amazing starter, amazing card, but yet the deck's not doing anything regardless of getting Rusty back, regardless of Gearsu, regardless of all these other variables. And I don't know. I think putting Harp Horror to 1, again, they're not going to be like a tier 0 deck. I don't even know if they'd be tier 1 still, but at least they'd be a little more playable and consistent and be able to push through disruption a little bit better. So I think Orcus really should get their Harp Horror back to 1. And then we do have Denglong, I mean, this is another one. Like, why is it still banned? Does it warrant being banned still? I don't think so. I mean, I guess that's me, but you're free to think what you want. I think Denglong can come back without any issues at all. Semi-limited, nothing. Nothing is going to be semi-limited. Nothing is going to come back to 2. Nothing is going to go to 2. I guess after this, like, I always was okay with a semi-limited list, but I really am seeing other people's points and saying it's kind of useless. I mean, hey, everyone says it's basically the Mally list. Even Mally, I don't know. I don't care if it's at 3. Like, personal opinion. Someone will abuse it, yeah, obviously. But is it going to be tier 0? No, it's not. Semi-limited, so nothing there. No semi-limits, nothing coming on, nothing going off, just kind of blank. Bringing us to our unlimited section. Well, a handful of these cards are still legal to play, so you know that they're not going to get unlimited by any means. However, this deck, it has the most tops ever at YCS levels, and they're not doing a whole lot anymore. It's a fan favorite, so we're not going to unlimit Sky Striker Engage. That's not happening. Sorry if I got any of your hopes up, but Dynamite is going to come back to 3, I think. A lot of people have thought this for a little while now. Dynamite and, ironically, True King's Return comes back in the same ban list that we ban True King of All Calamities. So I really, again, I don't see any reason that these 2 cards cannot come back to 3. Are people going to try Draco out again? Yeah, they are. Pretty much like every other ban list when they get a little bit of like a card back or this changes or just the fact that it's a new ban list, new format, people want to just try Draco, see how it fares for the format, and they're going to try it. And despite getting both cards back to 3, they're going to realize Draco still is not a good deck, and they're not going to play it. You might come up against it here or there online, once in a while online, and maybe they hit like an amazing hand. Maybe, you weren't prepared for it at all. Maybe you lose. But overall, Draco's not going to be a good deck still. Dynamite and Return, both, they can come back to 3 without any issues in the game. This brings us to our Don't Be Surprised If category. So these are going to be cards that don't be surprised if these changes happen. I like the handful of mix we have down here. We have legal cards, we have banned cards, we have a limited, 2 limited cards. So what's going to fall into this category? Well, the first one is actually going to be our Daigusto Emerald. As good as it can be, I mean, isn't it even playing it, really? Is rank 4 spam to, abuse his effect and draw a few times? Is it going to be abused? No, I don't think so. So don't be surprised if Daigusto Emerald goes to 3. The next one, don't be surprised if Trickstar Lightsage goes to 3. Like, Trickstars aren't doing anything. Orchest isn't going to abuse it. Are we afraid of a 1-card Verde that much? Like, you realize how many 1-card Verdes there are, right? Like, we have so many more degenerate 1-card combos. Like, Lightsage, can't it come back? I mean, playing it and forcing a back row or they can't use it, that's probably the strongest effect of Lightstage. But what are Trickstars doing? Nothing. What decks are going to abuse this? Not many. Trickstar Lightsage can come back to 3. I guess change my mind. Like, Deep Sea Divas of VFD Rip 4. That's still at 3. Like, that's way more impressive than Lightstage. It's way more impressive than a 1-card Verde. It's like, I don't know. Give me a good reason why Lightstage is still at 1, and we can discuss it below, because there isn't any. The next one, we are going to mention it now. Sky Striker Engage, don't be surprised if it goes to 1. Do I think it will? Probably not, but I don't know. I have a pretty good feeling that at least 2 of these don't be surprised ifs actually will come true, and I really, really would not be surprised if all 3 do. I think Engage is the least likely one to happen, or Trickstars, because they just seem to not want to admit that they just, when it got hit for a good reason, because it led into like full Orchest combo because of Nightmare Mermaid, but Mermaid's banned, so it kind of got power crept, and I think it can come back. But Engage, I think it'd be a pretty good boost. It's still not going to make like the deck a splashable engine, because 1 drones, 1 Engage, it's not going to happen. Engage to 1 definitely would not surprise me whatsoever. good preventative that won't happen. I wasn't going to put these on here at all. And at one point I thought about actually putting them up here, but we're hitting, Drytron pretty decently hard. We're hitting Virtual World pretty decently hard. A deck that was doing really, really good before both of them, Dinos, is also getting Scrap Raptor. So are we just going to let them run free? More than likely, yeah. We can deal with it. Dinos come and go in the format. They kind of help check the format and balance the format. But everyone's tired of, have you read Miss? It's basic. I mean, it's not even basically. It turned into a huge meme at this point. But when you can't even interact to try to stop them, and now Scrap Raptor's broken too, and it's a dinosaur too, it's just going to be really, really tough. I don't think they're going to touch Miss at all, but a good preventative hit that will not happen would be one of these two cards, if not both to one. Like I said, it's not going to happen. Both to one, no way it happens. One of them, maybe. Would it be good? Yeah, probably. Is it going to happen? Not likely. But that is our first good preventative hit that will not happen. If Calamities gets banned, what is Virtual World going to do? Are they going to die? Is the deck going to be, unplayable? No. They still would, without, they have the, with their new card coming out, they can use, Muddy Mud Dragon and Ultimate Soul Keen to make, Crystal Wing and Dragoon. Crystal Wing, Dragoon, and Shen Shen. They have a lot of plays still. They can still make boards. They can still do plays. They can, hand loop you, which is what we're going to talk about here quickly. They, between making a couple Cloud Castles and XX Saber Gotems, they can make you just, lose your hand. They loop your hand from you, and nobody likes hand loops. We talked about Deep Sea Diva basically hand looping you, and if Mermail saw a little more play, I would be all for hitting that combo, but Mermails don't really see any play. So, Virtual World does, kind of sees a lot of play. It's probably the best deck of the format. So if we hit that or Beast of the Pharaohs, either one of them getting banned really just kills their hand loop. It stops the combo right out. So I think personally hit, I don't know, either one of them. I really don't care which one. Just get rid of the hand loop before it happens because nobody likes playing with that. Look at when we hit Tempest Magician before the FTK really took off from Pendulums. That was another one we said don't be surprised if Tempest Magician gets banned, and it got banned because, well, FTKs are not fun. Hand loops are not fun. Neither one's good for the game. Neither one promotes a healthy game. Neither one should be in the game. But there are nonetheless. And this is our March 2021 Bandlist prediction. Let us know down below what you guys thought and how you like our two little sections here. What did we get wrong? What did we miss? What do you think should go where other than that? Actually, let's discuss that. We already said so. So Benton, Ban, Limited. What do you guys think is the better hit and why? Let us know down below. Thank you guys for watching.